Welcome. Today, we are diving into what I think is the unsung hero of any real lasting process improvement. It's something CMMI calls the implementation infrastructure. Now, I know that sounds a little corporate and dry, but stick with me because this is the secret weapon that makes sure great ideas actually change the way we work instead of just sitting on a shelf.
So let's start with a question I'm pretty sure everyone has asked at some point. Why do these brilliant, well-thought-out processes so often end up just gathering dust? You know the drill, right? A huge effort is made, there are meetings, a new system gets rolled out, and then, a few months later, poof, everyone's right back to doing things the old way. What is going on here?
And this slide just nails that disconnect. On the left, you got the dream, the plan. It's all clean checklists and perfect flowcharts. But then there's the reality on the right. Messy, chaotic, full of heroic efforts to save the day, constant shortcuts, and successes that you can never quite seem to repeat. This gap right here is exactly the problem that implementation infrastructure is built to solve. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. First up, we're going to explore why even the absolute best processes can fall flat when they meet the real world. You see, the core problem is that without a real support system, processes are just fragile. Think about it. When a deadline is looming and the pressure is on, what's our first instinct? We revert to what we know. We go back to our old habits. That beautiful process document, it's the first thing that gets tossed aside, which means it's totally useless right when you need it the most. But what if there was a way to make those processes stick, to make them resilient? Well, that brings us to the solution. This idea of a hidden support system that's designed to make good habits the easy choice. And that is implementation infrastructure, or II for short. And I absolutely love this metaphor they use. Think of it as scaffolding. It's the foundation for your processes. You wouldn't try to put up a skyscraper without a solid foundation and scaffolding, right? So why would we expect a complex process to stand on its own without any support structure? And here's the formal goal. Straight from CMMI itself. It's to make sure processes are persistently and habitually followed. Now, those two words are everything. Persistently means you keep doing it even when it's hard. And habitually, that means it just becomes second nature. It's not a chore anymore, it's just how we do things around here. Now, building this kind of infrastructure isn't like flipping a switch. It's a journey. It's about maturity. So in this section, let's take a look at how that support system actually grows and evolves over time, level by level. So here's our roadmap for that journey. We start at level 1, and we progress all the way up to the really mature stuff at level 4. Let's break down what's actually happening at each of these stages. Okay, level 1. The goal here is super simple. Just get the work done. The processes are pretty ad hoc, maybe a little chaotic. This is the world of those heroic efforts we were just talking about. The work gets delivered, sure, but you can't always guarantee you can do it again the same way. This is basically ground zero. Then, at level 2, things start to change. The organization starts to actively support the teams. This is a huge step. It's not just about telling people what to do, it's about enabling them to do it. So you see things like management actually providing a budget for tools, and this is key, training people how to use them. And you also start to see things like QA audits to, just check that people are actually following the playbook. And here's where the next big leap in thinking happens. Level 2 is really all about supporting a specific project, but level 3, that's when the focus blows up to supporting the entire organization with one standard shared system. It's a game changer. At level 3, the really crucial thing is that you create this learning loop for the whole company. You start to see things like a process asset library, basically a central hub for all the best templates and tools. And we move beyond just checking boxes. We start asking, is this actually working? Are our code reviews really reducing bugs? And then, maybe most importantly, teams start contributing back. One team creates an awesome spreadsheet and they share it so everyone can benefit. It's brilliant. And this whole journey really culminates here at level 4. This is the frontier for high-maturity organizations. Now it's all about data. The organization starts using statistical techniques not just to manage what's happening, but to actually predict process performance. You're moving from just following a recipe to truly understanding the science behind it. So we've been throwing this word infrastructure around a lot, but what are we really talking about here? It's so easy to just think it means buying new software, but it is so much more than that. This infrastructure is really a combination of these 5 key things. You've got the process descriptions, the actual rules of the game. You've got the resources, the right people, the right tools, and enough time. You need the funding to make it all happen. You absolutely need the training so people have the skills. And you need those objective evaluations, the audits that make sure the whole system is actually working like it's supposed to. All right, let's bring this all home. In this last part, we're going to see how this complete infrastructure is the thing that finally turns a process blueprints into a living, breathing reality. Ultimately, the entire goal is to create one single, unified system. It's not about a random collection of documents and tools that don't talk to each other. It's about one integrated infrastructure that takes good intentions and turns them into ingrained, productive habits for the whole company. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Implementation infrastructure is what keeps a process alive. It's what transforms it from a dusty document in a forgotten folder into a daily habit that people actually follow and that consistently delivers results. It's the engine that powers real improvement. And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about for our own organizations. Is your infrastructure a solid foundation that's setting you up for success? Or is it just another forgotten blueprint? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.